Take every man of color off the football teams. Take every man or woman of color out of the recording industry as singers, as producers, as rappers, or whatever the case may be. And the list goes on. What would America and the world have today? There's a debt that's owed to the world for the labor and the mind power and the brain trust that we've given to the world.
No, there's no doubt about that, and there's definitely a good cause and a good argument for reparations. No doubt about that. I'm curious to hear from Brother Fahim as well as Herbie and the other gentleman from New York, because it's an issue that's going on around the country. Me and Dean have talked about it from some of our other past guests, but I'd love to hear from you, Bruce, as well as some of our other callers, as to what their thoughts are on the current gentrification that is taking place in our downtown communities. We're seeing it a lot in downtown Durham. I know Brother Fahim is selling lemonade down there on a regular basis. He's been having some health issues, but still does it on a fairly regular basis. And I'm sure that Herbie in his area of the Northeast has been dealing with it. So I'm just curious to hear what folks' thoughts are about the gentrification that is taking place, and a lot of it impacting our community. You mentioned McDougal Terrace, but that's not new. That's hitting other communities that are even up in the Northeast. And talked to a lady that just came back from a trip to California where she said she literally saw the beaches on one side and a row of homeless people on the other side. So it's that homeless issue is definitely hitting our folks. So I just wanted to hear folks' comments that are on the line as to what they think of what's going on in our urban cities and everything.
Yeah, Bruce?
Oh, I'm here.
This is Barry from New York. Yeah, I can speak for Harlem and Bed-Stuy.
Oh, good. Right.
And gentrification up in Harlem is off the chart, and the Bed-Stuy is off the chart. I mean, and the white people that's moving in there look at us as if, what are you doing here? And we were there all our lives. And they come and just take over with their arrogance and, smugness. And nobody, we supposed to be savages and everything, but they haven't had no incidents of any of us beating them up or running them out, none of that stuff. But we go to Howard Beach and areas like that in New York, we got to run for our lives if we get caught out in the neighborhood. And we're supposed to be the savages and uncivilized ones.
Wow.
Same thing in Harlem.
Yeah, and Brother Dean can relate to that because, Brother Dean, your wife is out of Harlem. I know we've talked about your New Jersey connections, which Fahim alluded to earlier, but your wife is actually out of Harlem, and she has a business that's out of Harlem, so I'm sure that she probably has run across some of these issues of gentrification and racism, even in the businesses that she's trying to form and everything.
Well, the business is actually on the Jersey side now, so, we do travel, but at the same time it's Jersey-based. She was born in Harlem, though, and that's her hometown.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, she definitely knows about what the gentleman's talking about because she probably saw that growing up and everything. And I think I said it was Newark. It is Newark that you're in currently, or is it Trenton? I know I said for Fahim, I think Newark, but I always get it confused. So if I was wrong, correct me.
Oh, you talking about me?
Right.
I'm in the South Jersey area. I work in Trenton. I also go up to Newark outside of the institution that's up there as well. But I work all over the state. As far north as Newark, as far south as Leesburg and Delmont. So, been there a whole bunch of times. In fact, going there tomorrow morning.
All right. And like Fahim said, he's from that area. Fahim, are you still with us?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Glad to hear. And what are your thoughts about what are your thoughts about all this gentrification? I mean, we're seeing it big time in Durham. I talked to a friend of mine who was 52 or 53, and she does DoorDash, which is kind of that gig economy stuff, and she literally was doing a delivery up by Mount Vernon and just stopped her car because what she saw, as she put it to me, this doesn't look like the Durham that I remember. When she saw those new condos and apartments and all of that stuff that was going up there, and like I said, she's not old, she's not a spring chicken either. Like I said, I think she's around 52, 53, somewhere around that age range. But she definitely stopped her car and was like, had to take a picture of what she saw because it's not the Durham that she reflected on growing up and going to Hillside and things of that nature.
Right. I think we first must look at urban renewal. I think urban renewal was the same strategy that took place 30, 40 years ago. Where different cities, they start to push black people out. So in Durham, you can see big Jewish developers, big corporate real estate developers have come in to Durham, and they're pushing black people who own property out in Durham. So this is a trend that's taking place in Durham, in Newark, New Jersey. My mother and family stay in Newark, and you could see in my community in Newark where big chain restaurants, big box stores, and condos, and these big housing developers are coming, pushing us out. See, in Durham, we had what is called hate jive. I think Bruce talked about this, where we had movie theaters, we had beauty schools,
good point.
we had restaurants, we had funeral homes, we had black banks, we had North Carolina Mutual Insurance Company. People don't know this. 1921, white folk dropped a bomb on Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we said that was the first black Wall Street. No, Durham had a prominent Negro elitist blacks in Durham. Booker T. Washington said this. He said he had traveled throughout the country. He said he had never seen a more progressive Negro like he found in Durham. Booker T. Washington said the same thing. So Washington found the Negro leader, Booker T. Du Bois touted the talent Jeff. He said Durham had some of the most progressive blacks any place in the country. So now we look at Durham today, we can see black businesses closing. We can see black entrepreneurship all-time low. And I think the No Bookstore, as Bruce was talking, it was bigger than a bookstore. It was a place that people came to fellowship and share ideas. And I think we're missing that. I can remember going to D.C. and sitting down at the Pyramid bookstore with Andari Ali, okay, sucking up this knowledge. But look around now. Most of the black bookstores, as Bruce mentioned, is closed. I was going through what is called the South Side of Durham. You see all black community. Look at the South Side now. It's gentrified. They push black homeowners out. White people have come in. Like the brother said from New York. They come in saying, what the hell y'all doing here? We've been here all our lives. And Mark, you've been a writer. A writer for years. You've covered a lot of Durham's history as a writer. See, when you first met, you was writing. See, you came out of Marquette University, and you was writing when I first met you. So media ain't nothing new to you.
Right.
So
no, not at all.
You've covered these stories. You know? And I think that when I look back at Carolina Times and Mr. Holston, I think about the Carolinian and Raleigh. Now, Bruce missed something. the first black bookstore actually was in Raleigh, was the Dillonines. The Dillonines.
That was Freedom, wasn't it?
Freedom. So
Freedom, right.
So Freedom. I used to travel to Raleigh. It was more of a Marxist, socialist bookstore, but they carried black books, black literature. Now, they were there before Blacknificent. Brother Kamal Chambon and Sister Maria Chambon, they came later. But the Freedom Bookstore was there many years before Magnificent.
Yeah, definitely. I remember Freedom Bookstore. Yeah.
Yes.
And one of the other things I was curious, and you mentioned it, because the Freedom Bookstore definitely had that Marxist socialist kind of bend and everything. And I know that even our current city council person is Mayor Pro Tem. I think that she has some socialism ways and things of that nature. But a lot of times folks mistake socialism and communism. I think we're even seeing that with Bernie's campaign. And I was just curious what both you, Fahim, and Bruce, if you want to chime in on that, think about this, because we do have like this ultra-right wing and everything that's, currently occupying the national spotlight. But go ahead, Bruce.
I was about to say, and this is why it takes more than one mind to do all this. Fahim made me think too. He mentioned Freedom Bookstore, but Dillon had. He's right. I left them out. They were the first bookstore in Raleigh. Now, I don't think you mentioned the first African American bookstore in the whole state of North Carolina. Did you, Fahim? I didn't hear you. Did you?
No.
But we need to do that. The first one in the whole history of North Carolina. Mine was the second, but the very first came out of the civil rights movement and out of the activism at A&T State University. It was called the Uhuru Bookstore on
yes.
Right, Uhuru, Uhuru, Uhuru Bookstore. I can't think of the brother's name that started it, but he was a student at A&T State University. But that was the first black bookstore in the whole history of North Carolina, Uhuru. So we want to get the history straight, right?
Right, exactly.
Let me.
But what are your thoughts about this? Well, either one of you, if you want to chime in on the thoughts about the current misdefinition of socialism versus communism, because I think a lot of times people get it confused.
Well, you should open up.
Let me try on this.
He opened up something on that one, didn't he?
I think there's a book called. It's written by Jeffrey Elliott. Dr. Elliott was a professor of political science at North Carolina Central University. Wrote a book called "Nothing Can Stop the Course of History."
Right.
A book on Fidel Castro, and it's one of the best book of interviews that talks about socialism. But let me say this: I think in the Western context, they accused Bruce Paul Robeson being a communist. They accused Du Bois being a communist. But I
John Henrik Clark.
Look at it as being a communist. I think when you look at the
Hubert
book
Harrison.
written by the book written by Karl Marx called Das Kapital. Okay?
Right.
And Karl Marx is one of the top theoreticians on socialism. Who can be against the wealth being shared by the masses or the people? Who can be against that? The former president of Bennett College, Melville, Dr. Melville, she said,
Julianne Melville, right.
She says we live in a system that's rooted in predatory capitalism. And she said that predatory capitalism. So Kwame Ture said that capitalism was the premier antagonistic contradiction. So when you're talking about wealth and how wealth is distributed and how resources is